Hello everyone, welcome to Paper and Moose. Thank you so much for joining me today on Mail Day, where I open up packages that have been sent from viewers such as yourself, treasures sent through the mail, whether they were found in a dumpster, found in a Goodwill bin, found at a yard sale, found in your own attic, your own basement, or even just out for trash on the sidewalk. You never know what could be in these packages, and I'm always so excited to see what you all have so kindly sent me. I hope that everyone is doing well. Welcome to November. Time flies. I think I say that quite a lot, but it certainly does. I hope that everyone is doing well as we head into this busy time of year where the malls are crowded, the post office is busy, the grocery store is busy. Everyone is getting everything ready for the upcoming holidays. So I hope that you all find some time to relax, enjoy the little parts of life that we also love, whether it's just sitting on the couch, reading a good book, maybe playing Animal Crossing, if anyone does. I have not touched my Switch in, my Islanders on Animal Crossing, they might have left. I hope not. Especially Cranston, that little bird is so cute. But anyway, for those that have no idea what I'm talking about, we'll move on to something else. But yes, just take time to enjoy the little parts during these next 2 months because it can get rather hectic. Now, as I always say, enough of my jibber jabber. Let's get to the mail. This was an interesting box. So I was excited just to see the box. It is for Kodak paper. I do miss seeing that Kodak building when I would have to go up to Rochester, New York for my old job. That was probably the highlight of traveling up there, was just seeing the lights on the Kodak building. Let's see what is in here. I am very intrigued. I have no idea what it could be. Is it just one thing that's very large? Is it multiple? There's one way to find out. Hi Renee, I love your content. You are always digging through mystery totes, harvesting questionable items. I picked up this portfolio of pictures from a local auction. It was sitting on top of a brand new dryer that I bought for $100, so the pictures came with it. That's a great deal for a brand new dryer. Oftentimes when we're at storage auctions, people are bidding hundreds of dollars on units for a dryer or washer, and I'm always like, what if it doesn't work? You've spent $500 on this dryer that may or may not work, and you have to lug it down 3 flights of stairs, through an elevator. So congrats to you for a good win and an easy way to move it. I'm always on the hunt for electronics, tools, guns, gold, glory, easily shippable, eBayable items. I like that phrase. And hobby items. If you ever want to come out to Connecticut and check out the Mansfield Flea Market, local auctions, Brimfield, Mass. I have yet to get to Brimfield. That is on my list just to experience it, walk around, and see everything that there is to offer. Or the casinos. I make a great tour guide. As always, remember, if you find it, you have to wear it. Especially questionable logo t-shirts. Best Mike. If you find it, you have to wear it. That's really funny. There was a second letter. Hi Renee, my son and I enjoy watching your adventures at flea markets and estate sales. We appreciate your interest in items for which we would just pass by. Our searches include electronics, tools, and sports gears. Let's see, we think that you should consider using a head or chest mount camera so that you can use both hands to more quickly and efficiently uncover treasures. Keep up the search, John. So we have John and Mike. Speaking of a head or chest mount, I've talked about this occasionally, and I have several reasons why I do not wear one. So we may as well address that, and then we'll get into this box. For me, probably one of the main reasons why I don't wear a head and chest mount is that I have really bad motion sickness, or I get motion sickness rather easily, to the point where I've watched home movies, from when I was a kid. And my aunt has that, big chunky video camera, and just the slightest panning, I've actually become physically sick from watching those home movies with just that movement. So to wear a head mount or a chest mount, that is a whole lot of, like Elvis, a whole lot of shaking going on. Because most of the times when I'm at a flea market or an estate sale, I'm not looking at something that is just level. So my head isn't always down, or my chest isn't always at the level that the items are. So there's constant movement. Whereas if I'm holding the camera in my hand, I can bring the item to the camera, or I can easily just move the camera to the item. It's not constantly up and down, especially when searching through totes. I'd have to be positioning my body all sorts of ways to make sure that the camera is looking at that thing. Because the camera, when you have it on a chest mount, it only moves like this way. You can't move it this way or that way or up. It's just this way. I would probably be sick during editing all that time. So that's probably the main reason why I do not wear a head mount or a chest mount. It's just because for me, it is easier to move the camera or move the item to the object versus having to reposition my whole entire body. There also is the fact that some places that I go to, I have been asked to not include any faces, or I've actually been threatened with physical harm if I show faces. So wearing a head mount or a chest mount is not an option at those places for sure. And in other places, it's just a heck of a lot easier to hold the camera again where I am filming versus having to try and blur out everyone's face if you're wearing a head mount or a chest mount. So those are the reasons why I do not wear one. Also, it can be very uncomfortable, especially in the summer and the winter. Winter, you have many layers on, at least I do, and all those additional layers plus the chest mount, it just adds more. And then in the summer, it's hot. I don't want that. So for me, holding the camera is the easiest method, and it prevents me from being sick constantly. Okay, now let's get to what is inside this great box. Sitting on top of a dryer that they purchased for $100 because they wanted the brand new dryer. I'm excited. So first we have Terry and the Pirates 10 cents. It's already in plastic and the backer board. Oh my goodness. And you can smell the old paper smell, which is always a good sign. Is this a reprint? It is. So let's see. No. Yeah, reprint. 1983. The original copyright was 1937. Terry and the Pirates. So now you can read the comic without worrying if you're going to hurt the pages, damage the pages, etc. Terry and the Pirates. New 11-inch tall fighting Martian for $5.95 from Kent's Gifts at Atlantic City. And this is from a House Beautiful magazine, November 1967. You could buy a bunch of those now. 2 for $11.49. Add 75 cents each for shipping. Can you imagine only 75 cents now for shipping a toy? All right, so let's see. Oh my goodness, this is filled. We have a lovely wedding portrait. Hang that up in your home. Oh, I love this girl's dress. Oh my, there's a whole bunch of you. Oh, now remember, this was at an auction, so it could have been consigned to the auction, these items. The auction house could have done a clean out and it was included. So they just didn't want these. We have this dress is adorable. If you recognize this little girl, let me know. Her dress has Donald and Daisy Duck on it. How cute. And there are a bunch of them. She even has, see, we still do this now. Whoops. She brought her cute little puppy to the photo shoot. Maybe this was at Sears. They even have the chair. Now this grass looks real. I know they have an assortment of backgrounds when you go to get your photo taken, but I think this was really done outside. And look at this one. That should be the cover for a record album. We have all sorts. Now we have a lot of ads. Now many people actually sell these on eBay. They take the time to cut them out, to categorize them, and sell them. Some do sell. They can be, you know, long-term items to have in your eBay store, but it just depends on how much time you want to dedicate to doing this. And definitely easy to store. So that's another portion of the ephemera world that people collect and resell. So this is for Dolly Toys and Kitty Toys. This is Children's Activity magazine that this was taken from. I'm packing my sack with magic toys by Strathmore. There's magic in the air, educational fun for millions of young Americans. So these are all magic sets. Man, the days of David Copperfield on television, I used to love watching his show, especially when you would pick the number and somehow he would know what number you picked. That was all math, my friends, all math. This is great. This says multi-page 1955 toy luggage, Herculean General Fiber Products Company. So this is an advertisement for trunks. I believe this is the first time I've seen one of these. So we have your doll trunks, your wardrobe doll trunks, all the different kinds that they have, toy overnight and train cases. And then on the back, you also have some treasure chest and a sit-on toy chest. Definitely think this is the first time I've ever come across an advertisement for toy luggage. And then this also has the price. All right, so let's see. A toy treasure chest, which was this one here. That cost for a dozen. Price, dozen. $51.75. Now, what did the store price them at individually? I don't know, but buying a dozen of them for $51.75. That's crazy. It's fun all the way on US Royals, America's finest bicycle tires. Here we have one that is in color. Milton Bradley Christmas games to make the whole year merry. Summit, Go to Head of the Class, Civil War, Game of Life, of course, Uncle Wiggily, Chutes and Ladders, Candyland, that's a great game. Pirate Traveler, I don't believe I've ever seen that one. And this was from December 1961. Now Barbie comes to life in delightful adventure stories for girls from 7 to 12, announcing the Barbie Book Club from August 1964. 3 Barbie books for $1.49. Now this would be great for someone that collects Barbies. They could frame this, put this up in their, their room, their office, or if they do research on Barbie history, this is a great piece of Barbie history in advertising for their books. Oh, wow. Want to laugh? See the College Flapper, the great collegiate comedy. Screams of laughter, be there. Grange Hall in Ashaway, Rhode Island. Admission, 50 to 75 cents. Does anyone recognize anyone here? If you do, that was probably a fun wedding. Oh man, this screams 80s. Wow. You have the feathers, the rose. I like her bracelet. The hair. Love it, love it. Oh wow, here we go. These are the classic ones where you have the trio. They're all over. This was probably high tech back then to be able to put all the different captures on one photograph. Then they hang it up in their living room. Check this out. But speaking of living room, pretty sure that was taken in their living room. Look at her headpiece. Wow. That's fancy. He went with the blue. You have the pink curtains and that great lamp and the sofa cushions. The things that you could find at an auction, sitting on top of a new dryer. Thank you so much, Mike and John, for sending me all of these items. It's very interesting to see how photography has changed through the years, but also I think how people in the photos, we still are just the same. We wear the fashions of the day. You know, strike a pose as to what is popular during that time, but we're still photographed with the people that we love and the animals that we love and the objects that we enjoy, like the guitars and the stuffed animals. So I think that is still, that stays the same, though all the technology in photography is different. I think that the underlying reasons why we take photographs, those are still similar. And what a collection this was. I hope that your new dryer is holding up and working well. And that was a great buy. For $100 for a brand new dryer, you cannot beat it. And then on top of that, you have all of these great classic photographs and a few advertising pieces that harken back to the joy, I think, of advertising, the beauty that used to be in advertising, and the originality as well. Thank you again so much. I'm so glad that you and your son both enjoy my channel, and I wish you continued success in finding the items that you love. And then heck, maybe a brand new washer to go with your brand new dryer as well. Thank you again for the treasures in the mail. Plenty more mail days to come here at Paper and Moose. You never know what the next adventure might be. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all for the next adventure here at Paper and Moose.